Yo, what's good, everybody? Big KOT in the building, man. Friday, November 14th. We back at it with another stream. Got my dogs in here with me, man. Let me start with to my right, my dog right here, my dog Garrett. What's the deal, my dog? How you doing? I see you over there hitting the little.
Hey man, just trying to get in the groove. I'm back in the building with KOT. You love to see it, and we got a pretty big committee here today.
Yes, sir, man. You already know what it is. And to his right, we got my dog, the one and only New York's finest, Jay. My dog, NBA addict. How you doing, brother?
I'm not doing too well, bro. Jalen Brunson went out with the ankle injury. We know his ankles are very tender, so I'm hoping he's not out for too long. But we keep it pushing, man. We keep it pushing. Next man up. Hey, Davion Mitchell. Hey, I hope we put belt. I hope we put belt to the Heat tonight.
Man, I'm excited to see that. But we also got my boy Steph, aka Trill, aka Trill Buckets. I mean, the name's going on forever. My dog, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing better. I'm doing better. We low-key got a trap game tonight. But with that said, in Luka we trust. He's about to go get 45, hammer the over if you're watching. Actually, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I think it's gonna be a Luka Ayton game. So I went with the over and the assist.
Who they playing?
The Pelicans.
The Pelicans. Yeah, come on, bro. But I don't think Luka's gonna just hoop. I think it's gonna, share the sugar a little bit, get other people going. So
Yes, sir.
It's pending. It's pending.
It's pending, brother. I'm right there with you, man. I'm looking forward to that game in little less than an hour. But we also got my dog, Run the NBA, my dog Devin. Brother, how you doing?
Doing pretty good. Last time I was in here, I was pretty sad about my Raptors. So the fact we've gone on a little bit of a run here has got me in definitely some better spirits here the last little bit.
Come on, man. Come on. The start of the NBA season, it could turn around, Devin. I promise. It could always turn around. It may start bad, but it could turn around. But man, all right. So Jay, talk to me, brother. I know you said you was trying to get into some early into this stream. Talk to me about what you've been seeing around the NBA world.
Man, the NBA world, the NBA streets are a little spooky right now. Former NBA player Pat Bev, he got caught up, man. He got charged and arrested for third-degree felony assault for choking out one of his family members. Guys, we know Pat Bev is a very controversial personality, but choking out a family member, dog, come on. Hey, you got millions in the bank. You gotta know better. And he's already in hot water with Klay Thompson. I don't know if y'all saw that clip. Klay Thompson and Pat Bev, they're not on good terms right now. Watch how you speak about Meg.
Man. Which is a little crazy because I know Jason Williams was like really the one who said it in there, wasn't he? Like,
but he's the one.
But he was on Pat Bev pod.
Right. No, I agree. I think it was just like him endorsing that, like essentially.
Yeah.
But how y'all feel about the Pat Bev situation?
For me,
lock him up though with a key.
I mean, I don't know. You're honestly breaking news to me. I can't hold you, but like I literally just looked it up. Doesn't seem like there's too much on it, but honestly, the first thought is you're the first person with opinions or reactions on everybody. You should really be the main person being quiet. Because if you're gonna talk about everybody, talk about people's business, talk about when things happen, have an opinion. Something like this, that's great. You're choking.
That is crazy work. Wow. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro.
Oh man,
crazy work. And to get arrested over choking somebody, he must have been holding that choke for a long time. I'm not gonna.
That's
lie
a family member.
A family,
yeah. And that as far as I see, it doesn't specify who it is. So like.
Hey, let's be honest. We all wanted to choke out that one family member, bro. Come on, bro.
I think siblings are the only acceptable ones.
We've all had that, is that what you said?
Respect.
I don't know if we've had. I don't know, man.
And even if we felt it, all of us are still here not being arrested for it. So there's sincere.
Y'all don't got that one cousin that you just want to. You know what I'm saying?
What? Yo. Okay.
But if you guys got any other thoughts about the Pat Bev situation, I know it's not like anything to really break down, but the mafia.
I just wanted to say, like, is anyone really surprised? I mean, this is who Pat Bev was his whole career. He's an instigator. He's a guy who wants to start drama. When you think of Pat Bev and just, losing his cool a bunch of times, talking smack, I mean, he did it against the Lakers, especially. Like, remember that one game where he poked the ball a little loose from LeBron and he made it seem like he was the king of the world, or same thing with the Timberwolves against the Clippers. Like, yeah, this is my championship. And then when he pushed Chris Paul, when things went wrong and it was an elimination game, like, he plays hard, but also he has a temper. And it's not totally surprising that came true, I guess, like now, you know what I mean? Especially just the way he talks, like on his podcast. Like, I'm not entirely shocked.
He just looks like he doesn't have control of his emotions, to be honest with you.
Exactly.
Which is a big problem for a grown man.
D1 crash out. D1 crash out for sure.
Yeah.
Hall of Fame level.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah, but fellas, there's also some more breaking news, man. The Mafia sports betting scandal, it just gets deeper, and now it's touching college sports. Apparently, 14 people were charged in a new Mafia scandal. What's with these Mafia families getting into sports gambling? Like, what's the tie there? Well, what do you guys think?
Oh, that tie is from the beginning of time.
Money.
Sports gambling originated practically with the Mafia, honestly. Like, so, it's legalized now, and I'm sure they've always had ties within sports networks and sports players and so on and so forth. But now, because it's legal, everything's regulated. When you sign up on these apps, there's geolocation, there's, some you put your socials in, you're going to get caught. Like, that's just what it is.
Apparently, in this situation, though, Steph, they were using illegal sports books, offshore accounts. It was getting nasty.
Shout out Bovada.
Bet 365.
Oh, this is crazy.
Man.
Yeah, no, that's actually wild. That's even it's only gonna get deeper, because one thing I know about the feds is when they actually start to talk about who's involved, it's only the beginning, because they've been building a case for over a decade. So it's about to get so nasty. We might see some of our favorites, like, just, oh man. I hope not.
Hey man, I don't know, but lately, all I'm gonna say is, I know last time me and Devin were on here talking about the bets and stuff. Like I said, Jakob Poeltl might be one of the next names to drop, but he's been kind of cooking lately. So I don't know. I think it's just gonna surprise us, this whole list. The only thing is, I'll be waiting for when Ty Lue, gets that call. Just saying. we know it's coming.
Apparently,
Garrett
he's on the list. So
Garrett got like a personal vendetta against Ty Lue.
Man, like, don't even get me started on that jump.
Nah, go ahead, get started.
Go ahead, get started. We gotta
talk about the Clippers, bro.
Nah, hey, he already cooked Ty Lue in the other stream, bro.
I did. I called him Ty Lue's. I shouted out. Wait. I can tell the others because you were the only one here, Jay. I've been trying to keep some quotes from press conferences this season, right?
Oh, yeah.
And so he nicknames John Collins JC. And this dude, you can tell where his mind was like that night. Like, it was a few weeks ago. He said, I want to shout out my guy JC. like, brother, where is your mind at? Like, it's over for them, bro. And that's why they've lost 6 straight games right now.
Jeez.
Blow it up. Stinkfest.
I actually haven't watched too much of the Clippers, but that has something to do with it. I haven't really been too excited about them.
Yeah.
Who have you been excited about, Steph? Let's get into that before we get into the headline.
First and foremost, the Pistons. If you
facts.
guys know,
Facts.
for the longest, I've been on their coattails, excited for them to actually get over that hump. And they're at that point where they're doing that, and it's exciting to watch because the way they're playing now is what we saw them build over time. When they were losing those games in that 20-plus game losing streak, they were still gritty, they were still strong, but now they're able to finish games and in some cases blow teams out. So that's one of the biggest teams I'm excited about.
I like that. Devin, talk to me. What's the team you're most excited about here this year, or that you've seen early in the season?
I've still just been really enjoying Portland. I mean, I was high on them coming into the season. They finished last year very well, and they've continued to be impressive to me to the start of this season. I mean, they're battling in the tough Western Conference, and they're continuing to play good basketball with emergences of some young stars and flirting with 500 continuously. So I continue to be impressed by them whilst they continue to deal with some injuries on the periphery as well.
Jay, but your answer can't be the Knicks, Jay. You gotta go elsewhere.
Mike Brown saved me. I was off the edge. All right, now I'm playing. The team that I'm most excited about right now, even though Davion Mitchell, you are a op in New York. I love the Miami Heat, bro. I love their offense, bro.
Yeah.
Hey, Noah LaRoche, absolutely. I think the Miami Heat was the perfect team for Noah LaRoche. I believe that's his name, unless I have it wrong. He saved this Miami Heat team, bro, because they don't have a natural point guard. They don't have a natural playmaker, but they have a lot of guys that are very good at getting to the rim. And the Miami Heat team is very well coached, as we know, and they're very physical. And they're just a very hard team to stop, to try and protect the paint with, because my favorite player on that squad is Jaime Jaquez Jr., bro. He is a monster, bro. Getting to the rim. He has a little mid-range shot. And shout out to, I think I said this in another stream, shout out to the mid-range, bro. It's back, bro. But yeah, I'm very excited about the Miami Heat, man.
Yes, sir.
No screens. Screens are overrated, dog.
Come on. Hey, don't tell Luka that, though. Don't tell Luka and the Lakers that.
Except you look at that shit.
But Garrett, who are you most excited for, my brother?
You know, I'm most excited for, I want to shout out my guy, the one and only Suns geek. We go way back, and shout out the comment, Heat are going to be top 4.
Okay.
I see it.
Steph don't agree. I see that.
I want to shout out Suns Geek, though, because, before the season, I think everyone could have thought, oh, yeah, they lose Durant, and this team already sucked last year. They're just going to, Devin Booker is going to be chilling on another lottery team. And even though I think it was easy to pinpoint the Suns as that, I remember saying on my show a couple weeks ago, I think it was to Jacob Blocks, Roundball Renaissance, and Cloud2K, 3 other creators in the community. And I said, hey, don't be surprised if the Phoenix Suns, make a little bit of noise this year. I'm not saying they're going to win a championship. They could be one of those teams that are pretty sneaky. And right now, they got the same record as a team like the Cleveland Cavaliers, who has maybe championship aspirations. Of course, Devin Booker's been doing Devin Booker things. It's probably been his best season in the last 3 years, I'd say already. And then you got Grayson Allen, who dropped a 40 bomb, and Dylan the Villain looking like a man, like a menace again. I think he's averaging 20 a game right now or something. So I know he's missed a couple games though. And then Royce O'Neal, knockdown shooter. I like what Gillespie's been doing. Him and Grayson Allen really have been the 2 backcourt guys I've looked at the most and been you're giving Devin Booker a lot of support right here at the guard position. And then even guys like Oso Ighodaro and Nick Richards, even now and then, Mark Williams, of course. And then they're young guys like Ryan Dunn. They just have a lot of pieces. I like that this team doesn't really have a what's the word for it? It's not like they can just kind of play freely. They don't have any expectations. They need to win a championship or even need to make a playoff appearance. And yet they still might. And I mean, I know a lot of people trash on Jalen Green, but Jalen Green looked pretty good his first game, and then he got hurt again. So if he looks like he did in his first game, whenever he comes back, maybe this team will really take another step.
Hey, I'm right. My bad, John, but I'm right there with you with the Suns, bro. I absolutely love what I'm seeing from the Suns. Although I don't like how their offense is constructed. It's really Devin Booker, do whatever you want out there. But besides that, this team is really good. Ryan Dunn is an underrated athlete, bro. He's incredible. I'm a big Jalen Green fan. I was saying last season, or maybe it was 2 years ago, that the Rockets are better with Jalen Green instead of Sengun. That's a horrible take right now. But I'm big on Jalen Green, and I think Jalen Green is the type of player where you need, even though when I was talking about the Miami, he has said screens are overrated, but he's someone where you need a good screen setter. He's not the strongest guy, and he excels at turning the corner. And if you could put him in, constantly put him in position to be successful with that type of play style, Jalen Green is going to thrive. And I think the Suns know this. And when he does come back, he's going to look phenomenal once again alongside Devin Booker.
That's a good take, Jay. When you playing with somebody on your hip, it makes the game a whole lot easier, man. But
especially when you're an athlete like him, come on, bro.
Right, exactly. But my team I'm going with is the San Antonio Spurs. I'm gonna be honest, like the league is at a point right now where every night, like you could just go on League Pass and watch a game, and you're like, damn, like that's impressive, like damn, that's cool. Like you'll always be like, oh, all right, like that was a crazy good move. I swear, it's like every other play with Wemby. I'm like, bro, that's wild. And I swear to y'all, when I talk about this with my girl all the time, I really feel so blessed that we get to watch this guy's come up. Like, remember when like him and Rudy Gobert were like playing ones when Wemby was like 15 years old, and then we had barely just heard about this guy to where like now like he's starting to take over, and people are talking about MVP, which I think is not blasphemous, but come on, Luka in the building. But Luka gonna have a say in that, right? But even just beyond though Wemby, right? We have like De'Aaron Fox. He just came back. Honestly, partially because I live like closest to the Kings. I used to go to so many Kings games when De'Aaron was here. He's such a fun player to watch, y'all. Like just up and down the court so quick, right? A lot of the times, like defenses won't even be set, and he's boom, finishing at the cup. Stephon Castle, I'll be honest, Jay, I like how you called yourself out. You're like, oh, hey, I said that the Rockets are going to be better with Jalen Green. That's a bad take. A bad take that I had, to be 100% honest, was I did not think Stephon Castle was going to pan out. Like he's coming into the league as a poor 3-point shooter. I was like, oh man, like I'm seeing a poor 3-point shooter as a point guard who's going to, run the 2-man game with Wemby. How's that going to work? Like you're just going to double Wemby every time. It's going to blow up the offense. You're going to have you're going to be useless in a half-court set because if you can't shoot. But he has found so many ways around it. Last year when Chris Paul was there, he found a way to be great off the ball. I think he's going to continue to be great off the ball here with De'Aaron Fox, and then Wemby, and then they got energy guys off the bench. So I'm excited to see the Spurs, man, to be honest with you, besides my Lakers.
They love that. Love the Spurs, bro. Surprise team for sure. Playoffs? Top 6?
I think so.
Playoffs for sure.
Playoffs for sure.
They'll be
I give
4
them
to 6 maybe.
I was gonna say I give them about 5 to 7 range.
5.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay. And okay, Steph, I have to bring this up, brother, because I seen the immediate disapproval of you. You don't think that he'll be top 4? Or kind of let's get into this for a little bit.
I like Miami. Like I agree with everything that Jay was saying. Don't get me wrong. Like this is nothing against them. It's just the fact that I think there's 4 teams better than Miami, clearly better than Miami. Like there's some teams that got into a slow start that I think are better, like Orlando. They'll start to get their footing under them. Desmond Bane, it's a first year under him. I know Garrett doesn't really like. If I'm not mistaken, he didn't really like Desmond Bane. I could be wrong about that, but
no, I like Desmond Bane.
It was someone else.
He's okay. Yeah,
it was someone else. but nevertheless, I think Orlando's gonna get their footing at some point. I like Chicago a little bit better than Miami. Again, I'm not trying to take anything from Miami because I think they're very good. Eric Spoelstra's still one of the best coaches in the league, but past those 2 fringe teams, I still think Milwaukee, Cleveland, Philly, New York, Detroit is all better, clearly better, and that's 5 teams right there. So I just I can't get top 4.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, I'm selling the Cavs, dog. I'll take the Heat before the Cavs.
Donovan Mitchell's too good.
Garrett,
when Garland's been out most of the time.
They just beat him the other day.
Hey, Garrett, respect, but Darius Garland, injury-prone player. I do not believe in Jarrett Allen. Evan Mobley, Donovan Mitchell, you already know what you're going to get with them. Very good.
And
player.
Jay, Also, do you not remember last season the Cavs beating the Heat was the biggest first round blowout in NBA history? And what? And yeah, and yeah.
Wait. Last year's price is not today's price.
Oh, come on, Jay.
Okay. So what revolutionary player? You telling me Norman Powell's moving the needle like that?
Hey, he's been pretty good on that.
Norman Powell, the biggest.
Norman
Norman Powell, and I know this is Steph's guy too, but Norman Powell is the biggest needle mover in NBA history. You think?
You know who's the biggest needle mover to me? Eric Spoelstra.
Come
Eric
on.
Spoelstra combined.
Why didn't he
Noah
do it
Roche.
last year?
Eric Spoelstra combined with Noah
He was there
Roche.
last year.
That's like Goku and Vegeta merging, bro. Come on, bro. We see it, bro.
Eric Spoelstra was there last season, and not to mention,
With Noah Roche?
bro is washed. Do you not remember last year when he used that timeout late in the game, and he's like,
Oh yeah.
"Oh man, it was the biggest
fried. He's
mistake
fried.
ever."
He was fraud for that. I remember.
What are you
that.
talking about, Eric
But
Spoelstra?
Like I said, last year's price is not today's price. This is a different team, different offense.
Different team, different
And
offense.
they still aren't the Cavs. You can say what you want. Cavs aren't going to win the title.
Hey,
Heat aren't the Cavs.
hey, they link up in the playoffs. I'm taking the Heat. I'm sorry.
You're taking the Heat, who just
The
got
lights is too bright for
beat
Jared
down by
Allen,
them.
bro. The lights are too bright for him, bro.
They weren't
That's
last
what I
year.
like to hear. Oh, how y'all feel about this? I got sweet. Is it Sweet Nail on
Not
TV?
against the Heat, though.
Yeah, Sweet Nail on TV. I appreciate you being here, brother. Appreciate the comment.
They better
Um,
ATL.
How do we feel about this, panel? How do we feel about this?
Not
they
ATL.
Who's-
Not even. They're not even the
Is
conversation.
this
dog.
talking about the Heat or the
The
whole
Heat.
the
I'm
Heat.
guessing
Cavs?
he's talking about the Heat.
ATL's not in the convo.
I would guess he's talking about the Heat because it's kind
I
of.
mean, to be fair, right now they have the same record as the Cavs, but
But like a
I
whole
would-
season, yeah.
I would go Miami. I don't think Atlanta can sustain that.
Oh, you mean for like
Heat
the
and
Hawks?
Hawks.
And
Yeah,
Heat.
Heat and
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's more reasonable, than saying Heat over Cavs for
Right.
sure.
100%.
I don't know. I still feel like the Hawks will be decent though. I mean, right now, like the game Jalen Johnson had the other day was like
Mhm.
phenomenal. That was like quadruple double watch. And I feel like once they get a lot of these guys healthy, like the other day, like they've had Porzingis missing games, Alexander Walker, of course, Trae
That's
Young's
true.
missed games now too. So like once they put them all together, they could be a sneaky team. They just need enough time together. That's the thing. And so if they don't get like enough repetition before the playoffs with their full unit, then yeah, I don't know if they're really going to be a team like that. But if they do, they got wings galore. They got bigs. Like Trae Young's going to have a field day with this team at 100%. I don't think
Y'all
we've really
believe in-
seen it yet.
Y'all believe in Trae Young?
to a certain extent.
To what degree?
Well, yeah. To what degree?
To what
yeah.
degree is the
Well-
question? Like, can he make this team borderline top 4 or 5 seed in the conference this year if they can stay healthy, which obviously they haven't so far? I think that's possible. Do I believe he's going to get them to another conference finals? Probably not. I don't think he's that guy, but I think they can certainly be good.
You see, all right. Question. My bad. Question, real quick.
Okay.
ATL links up with the Pistons. Who win in the playoffs?
Pistons, easy.
Pistons.
It-
for
Probably
sure.
the Pistons, but the
In
Hawks
my-
can win.
John?
I wouldn't
Oh,
count
for
the
sure.
Hawks out.
I'm going with the Pistons.
I would counter him out because Cade is. You put Cade and Asar on Trey, and you stagger that. It'll get bad.
Well,
Wait.
the one thing that I'll say though is, and I mean, we even remember this when the Hawks made the conference finals. Like Trae Young had great games, like he was dropping 30 and 10, but he wasn't really having super efficient games, a lot of those, and they were still managing to get there. And I feel like this season, the East is as wide open as it's ever been in the last like 5-10 years. That like at that point, like he still had to go through like the Bucks with Giannis potentially, and potentially the Nets, but of course those teams matched up. The Sixers with Embiid. Like right now, it's like you're looking at maybe Cavs, Knicks as the top 2, the Pistons. Of course, you got to respect them as the 1 seed, but I don't think the caliber maybe stacks up with what it was in 2021 when they last got there. And so for that, I feel like, yeah, if they get enough time together, they could. He could be the guy to lead them there.
My thing with Trae Young is that he's never been an efficient player. I mean, the one year they went to the conference finals, but every other year he's never been efficient.
He really wasn't super efficient in some of that run. If you remember, like that game 7, like
Oh, in
he
the
didn't have an
playoffs. No, yeah, you're
yeah,
right.
he didn't have an efficient game 7, but he still made everyone better. Like he made Gallinari have a great game. He made Kevin Huerter have the game 7 of his life. So, and that's why they won.
No, I agree. He controls the game in different aspects outside of being an efficient scorer for sure. I think he's an elite pick and roll player. But for Trae Young to be your best player, you have to you have to reach that level of efficiency with the type of shots he takes. I mean, he takes a lot of 3-pointers and he doesn't shoot a good percentage from 3.
Hey, you know who else does that, Jay?
Who?
Your boy. You can't say that because your boy LaMelo Ball does the same thing.
Do you see? All right, different. There's calibers of shooting. All right, there's calibers to this.
Jay, come on, we gotta keep it consistent.
Hey, listen. There's Damian Lillard and then there's Steph Curry. All right, there is Trae Young and there's LaMelo Ball. Come on.
LaMelo Ball's above Trae Young.
So you're saying you're holding
absolutely as a
So-
shooter? My bad, Steph. My bad.
No, you're good. Well, I mean, they shoot about the same, so I don't.
Nah, you gotta watch that. You gotta watch that. The
No,
level of difficulty that LaMelo Ball, and not because of his own doing.
I was
but the
gonna say
level-
damn near of his own doing. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Hey, even if it-
I'll
if-
say
even if
I'll
it's
take
of
him on
his
the
own-
same level. The same level, fine. But you're
No.
not gonna sit here and say
No
LaMelo's
way.
on a better tier as
No
a shooter
way.
than
No
Trae Young
way.
when
No
the
way.
same problem conflicts both of them. You know.
brother, the level of difficulty. I've said this and I've publicly stated this. LaMelo Ball had the best shooting touch since Steph Curry, bro.
I don't know about all that.
Dude,
that is a,
Jay,
Jay. I don't know about
your
that.
eyes are only
Watch the
10%
tape.
open. I know
Watch-
you're older than the rest of us, but come on, man.
Watch the tape. Watch the tape. LaMelo Ball is the same caliber. Let me chill. LaMelo Ball is the best has the best shooting touch since Steph Curry.
No, he doesn't.
No.
He shot 34% last year from 3, just so we're all
Yeah.
aware.
Yeah.
And you guys are bringing up percentages, and I'm bringing up level of difficulty.
But is
Is
your
it?
shooting touch not like dependent on your percentage? Like, is that not
Yeah,
how
yeah,
efficient
yeah.
you are?
In Jay's defense, I think he's talking about like every shot isn't equal, right? Like
Okay.
LaMelo Ball will take a tough ass 3, and if someone were to take a 3 in that same exact spot, but coming off a down screen and they wide open versus LaMelo. But to my point, I think it's damn near to his own doing. Like
That's
he'll take
exactly.
the tough 3, like he will take the tough 3 himself. So that's why it's kind of hard to go against you, Jay. But I kind of hear your point. You're saying like not all shots are created equally, which I agree with. But in LaMelo Ball's specific situation, I think he's making the shots harder for himself. To be honest with you,
And that's a fair argument. You could completely argue that, but I'd argue that the defense that's played on him and the supporting cast around him, sometimes it leads to him having to take 10, 12 3-pointers just because the Charlotte Hornets are not that talented. And even if he's taking these like one-footed 3-pointers, guess what? They're going in. They're going in.
No, they're not.
30%.
No, they're not. The percentages say they're not.
33% of the time. Yeah.
Wait.
that is
You
below
shooting
the average, Jay. I'm gonna be honest.
Dude, Devin just said 33%, and you said they're
He's shooting 33% right now.
in.
He's shooting 33% right now is what y'all telling me.
33.
That's not good.
Wait, is that
In
a
the-
fact? Is that a fact?
I'm
Trey,
Like what?
Are
33.
you talking about
34?
LaMelo on
Yeah.
the year is on 33%. He was at 34% last year.
Oh, all right. Next time.
That's
okay.
that is that good?
Yeah.
Like
He is
okay,
good.
Hey,
not
I'm not-
good.
I'm still standing on this though.
we got to
Okay.
get from here. He said, "Where is the Buddy Hield tier in here?"
Yeah, he has not shot at or above league efficiency from 3 since the 2022-23 season.
Hey,
Buddy. The
I-
Buddy
I-
Hield tier though is
Slightly
above
over.
the LaMelo tier. That's for sure.
Absolutely not.
What?
I just want to say I
What
watch
do
a
you
lot of.
mean?
Listen, I just want to say I watch a lot of Charlotte Hornets, and I think you got just watch a little bit more LaMelo Ball, bro.
Hey, I respect it. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. I have not seen a
But,
48 minutes of the Hornets this season yet, so I respect it.
I've watched a lot, so I don't. But
I hear you,
That's
and
right.
to Devin's point, like the law of averages always come back to each other. The amount of times you see him hit those crazy shots, he's missing about 6-7 of those at the same time as well. There's some games where I'm sure you may have not watched where I'm sure he's gone 1 for 7 on a night, 1 for 8, 1 for 9 on a night.
Absolutely, for sure.
That's Buddy Hield is further as a shooter. We're not doing that.
Yeah,
Same shot.
Steph,
Not
I
every shot-
I can't let you get away with that, bro.
No,
Steph,
hey,
I
all right,
agree
hold on. My bad, John. Like John said, not every shot is created equal. You can't tell me Buddy Hield takes the same level of difficulty shots as LaMelo Ball.
He doesn't.
Some shots are curated for Buddy, bro. Come on.
And that's but I'll take curated makes over difficult misses all day, every day.
I mean,
that is true as well.
Hey, you know what's funny? People were probably laughing at the type of shots that Steph Curry was making or hitting or attempting.
But he-
What do you
Yeah,
now?
but
He was shooting 40%. That's different.
he was making them. He didn't
no.
shoot under 40% until that season. He only played like 5 games.
Hey, I'm staying on it. LaMelo Ball, best shooting touch since Steph Curry. Staying on it.
Steph
That
was
is
shooting,
crazy.
Steph was shooting like 10% more than him.
All right, yeah.
I don't even know if he has the best shooting touch on his team, bro.
I get y'all are talking about percentages, but we're talking about level of difficulty of the shots. I think we're having two different conversations.
No, I give you that. But at the same time, on the reverse end of that, getting easier looks is also a skill in and of itself. The best of the best get those same shots, but easier in a more efficient manner to where now that 33% you're hitting goes up to 38%. Now, as you're getting better, you're getting those reps in, that goes to 40%. But if he keeps doing that and trying to make difficult shots as opposed to figuring out how to make them easier, his shooting percentage it's not going to go up, and you're not going to see winning basketball come from it.
The shooting percentage is gonna go up when he has better teammates and the defense isn't locked in, and he has a bigger window of opportunity to get a shot off.
Two things can be true at once, though, because both of those things are true. I'm gonna be honest with you, because yes, Jay, I agree, and Steph, you'll know this exactly because if you've been watching the Pistons, you know for a fact that Cade's game. He's gotten better every single year, but his game really started to take a jump when he actually had players around him.
The one difference that we see from Cade that we haven't seen from LaMelo yet, and why the two we haven't seen the same kind of leap. Yes, I agree. The teammates have to be better, but you also need those reps of playing good basketball, even with the bad teammates. Even when we saw Cade losing, he was still making the right play, getting the ball to the open man. It was clanking off for the rim half of the time. And then when he got better teammates, they started to make it, but he was still making those plays. Now, I watched LaMelo get the ball with about 12 seconds left on the shot clock. And instead of trying to work to get something easy, he ISO'd real quick, had to rush at about 6 seconds, and shot up a step back 3. That's not good basketball.
And I agree with that.
I feel like me. Sorry. I was just gonna say like.
I'll go ahead. You go. Go ahead.
my bad. I'll send it to you. I was just gonna add in there like I feel like just watching LaMelo play, like a lot of what people are saying right now about like how Ja feels like he's just going through the motions with the Grizzlies, like that's been LaMelo for the past several years. Like when he started his career, maybe the second year, like okay, showed some progression, some signs of belief. I think especially the second year of his career when they won 43 games, I'm like, this is going the right way. And yes, his teammates, like some of them got arrested and all this other stuff. But like the point is, like he just doesn't seem like he really cares. And he just seems like he's just trying to play. And
I hate that narrative, bro.
Well, he's got to change it though. If he is the player that we thought he was going to be, and I said the same thing too with Zion, he's got to change it. This is his 6th season. He's just injury prone, and he doesn't show any reason to not believe it.
What about LaMelo suggests that he's not a serious player?
I think it's
he's taking the Jokic shots, and he's shooting at like Charles Barkley 3-point percentage.
Garrett, your teammates are dog. All right, you are the only superior talent on that squad, and you've tried to distribute the ball, and them motherfuckers is bricking, straight bricks. You're like, all right, you know what? It's up to me. Boom, I'm taking any shot. Because at some point, if you're the best player on the team, you believe that the team only go as far as you take them. And when the teammates is not doing what they're supposed to do, you put the team on your shoulders and try and will them to success. But obviously that has not been the case, not only due to injury, but the Charlotte Hornets has failed to put a competent team around him. One thing that the Charlotte Hornets are missing desperately is a defensive wing. Once they get a defensive wing, I believe the Charlotte Hornets are gonna go uphill. I think they're gonna get way better. They're gonna take the next step. They need a defensive wing terribly. Whether it be Brandon Miller or somebody else, I don't know.
I think that they definitely have enough to be competing for a playoff appearance. That's all I'm going to say. They have more than enough for him.
I disagree. They're missing. They're a phenomenal offensive team. They need defense. They need defense desperately. Getting Colin Sexton was a great pickup. Their rookie, Sion James, great pickup. Con Knipple, great draft pick. But they need more defense, bro. Shout out to Coke Burner too. Let me not forget.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair. Okay, and then
Jay or John, did you want to say your thing first?
I was just gonna say I think it's tough between like the comparison of like the Buddy Hield and LaMelo, just because those are two vastly different players, right? Like we're talking about, to Jay's point, one player that the franchise is trying to build around and is saying, here's all the money and here's all the shots, versus another player that's trying more of like a role player. And like I said, two things can be true at once. I believe that what Steph said is real. It's like, it's much better to get a more efficient shot. Yes. But in these specific circumstances of us talking about Buddy and LaMelo, I just think you have to, you can't overlook the fact that not all shots are created equal. And I don't agree with Jay. I don't want to be honest. I'm going to be totally honest about that.
I'll be honest.
I'm not overlooking that. And LaMelo is the better player. Yeah, sure. Yeah. Like, that's fine. But he said shooting touch. If we're talking shooting touch, Buddy Hield has the better shooting touch. There's no
100% agree with that. But I'm just saying, because y'all eventually got back to like percentages and all that. Well, if you're gonna look at percentages, you also have to look at not all shots are created equal, especially between those two. But yes, Buddy Hield has a way better shooting touch. LaMelo Ball has an unorthodox jumper to begin with.
That has nothing to do with it either.
I just want to say,
we're talking about a touch.
Yeah, like the shooting touch, like definitely, like that is a part of just like how efficient and how effective you are at like actually making the shots. But my thing is like, for you to say that he has the best shooting touch since Steph Curry, when you literally see a guy like Damian Lillard, who's also hit insanely tough shots, maybe even tougher shots than LaMelo Ball. He even hit for the series, chance to win it on the line, and he connected. That is crazy to me, man. And he's more efficient too.
Dame definitely is in the conversation, but I'm gonna have to ride with LaMelo.
He said conversation.
And he's number one. He's number one in the conversation. If you're thinking of it like that, because if you're looking at shooting touch all around, maybe Jokic, sure, like you could look at a variety of ways. But yeah, Book, Kevin Durant, Kawhi, like there's other guys too. But if we're just looking at like someone who essentially, as you were putting it, similar to like how Curry does with the tough shots, it has to be Dame. Then like that's just crazy.
I know. No, wait. He definitely in a conversation. But I'm wrong with LaMelo, bro.
I can't.
We're not with you on that.
All right, I'll be on this island alone. And when y'all want to come, you're welcome.
Never. It's cold over there. It's freezing.
Like crazy. Good weather year round. Great weather year round, bro.
All right, boys. Unless y'all got something else y'all want to get into, I think Jay mentioned a great headline topic for us to get into with this stream, which is us talking about OKC, right? OKC we just seen him put belt to the ass on the Lakers just this previous week here.
Gucci
and
belt.
You said what? Yeah, Gucci belt, Gucci, Fendi, Prada, or whatever you want, brother. But one of the follow-up questions, or I guess topics that we had from that is like looking back. Let's look back to like the 73-9 Warriors. Let's look back to just other historically great teams. Where do we think and how do we think OKC lines up and matches up against some of those great teams?
I guess I can go first. So if we're talking about like just how they match up with the other teams, like in terms of who's greater, like I don't put them ahead of maybe like the 96 Bulls or, like even the 73-9 Warriors or the KD Warriors after that. But I do think that they got to be in the conversation with them, especially if they follow up again with another 68 plus win year, because how many teams have done that multiple times. I mean, the Warriors actually like didn't even do that because they won 67 games on opposite ends of that time. So that's an exclusive category with just them and the 90s Bulls. So if you're thinking of it like that, like then yeah, they probably become a top 5 team that at least like in NBA history when you're looking at the depth and just like the fact that this team's going to keep getting better. Not all of them have reached their prime yet. Now, will they win 74 games? I don't think so, because I think eventually as the season goes on, like there's going to be more times where, okay, like it's a game in January, it's a game in February. Like I guess attention to detail is more likely to slip around that time. You saw it with the Golden State Warriors in that time when, what was it? Like Luke Walton was coaching and they lost like 4 games. Steve Kerr came back and it felt like they lost like 3 or 4 games, like very quickly. And then they eventually found their footing again. I don't think this team will win 74 games, but I think getting 70 is possible. It is possible for them to exceed the 68. And I think that's just a good benchmark for them to like meet as last year. I would say 68 again. But you look at like AJ Mitchell has played well and like guys stepping up when like Jalen Williams and Chet Holmgren and Alex Caruso, these guys are missing games. Like that is huge come later in the year. Ousmane Dieng even, like this team's deep.
Yeah, if I had to put a parlay in for the OKC Thunder to win 70 or more games, I'm putting my life savings on it because they absolutely will do it. This team is extremely deep. They're young and they're still hungry after winning a championship. And we really don't see that nowadays. Usually teams have the championship hangover, but this team is very focused on going back to back. And I do see this team going back to back. But the only reason I'd be a little skeptical on this team winning 70 games is integrating Jalen Williams back because this team is humming. Shout out to AJ Mitchell. Where did Sam Presti? Where do you find these guys, bro? But this team is like it's incredibly impressive. Chet from Isaiah Hartenstein, Lou Dort, I think missed last game. Shea is still an incredibly efficient player. I mean, there's just no drop off from anybody on this team. And the only reason I'll be a little skeptical is Jalen Williams coming back. But the fact that they've been this dominant without Jalen Williams, I'm just very impressed, bro. How they're handling these games and these teams. I mean, Draymond damn near crashed out after playing the OKC Thunder, bro. Like,
well, let me hop in here real quick. What I will say is, Jay, I hear you, but like, I mean, Jalen Williams, I think he'll have no problem integrating back in. Like, I don't think it'll ruin. I think that's equally as crazy to. I've been hearing a lot of people around the Lakers community say, like, is LeBron going to ruin anything when he comes back? I'm like, bro, it's LeBron. Like, what? So,
you know, Bron.
And that's how I feel kind of about that. I mean, I feel like they'll be able to easily integrate Jalen Williams back into the lineup and continue to be great. And to your point, Jay, I also think that if they do win this year, I think that they gotta be up there at least in the conversation. Now, granted, I would not take them over the 0-1 Lakers. I would not take them over the 95-96 Bulls. I would not take them over. I don't think I'd take them over the 73-9 Warriors, to be honest, just because they had just way too much scoring, just overload. Like it was just you couldn't handle all that. Pause. Yeah. Right. Sorry. I didn't even think about it until then because I'm just saying like you can't handle the Curry and then the KD's coming at you and then
oh my god, he's still going. He keeps going.
Yeah, you wildin', bro.
All right, I'm sorry, y'all.
OD.
Y'all get what I'm saying, but I do think that
I don't.
If they win one more this year, they definitely got to be in the conversation. But for me, one isn't enough to be in the in the likes of the 0-1 Lakers, the 95 Bulls, the dynasties, in my opinion.
I agree.
I feel like you got to wait until the playoffs to really make that type of decision. You know what I mean? Because the KD Warriors, they were so dominant in the playoffs. I feel like to really get give fair judgment on this OKC team, I feel like you got to wait a little bit.
Fair.
As much as I love this OKC team and I think they're very good, I think the Pistons recognize it's their time. They're gonna once they get in December and they go on a little bit of a run, they're gonna recognize the East is wide open. And once they recognize the East is wide open, stick with me. Stick with me. And I know you're a Knicks fan, but stick with me.
I was about to say, how wide is it, Steph?
What? Yo,
Oh,
That's
dude,
crazier.
My
That
bad,
is
my bad,
crazier
my
than
bad,
mine.
my bad,
Dude. Oh my goodness.
But once they start to get on a little bit of the run, you start to see Jalen Brunson get the little knick-knack injuries. I think the Pistons are gonna threaten them. Why? Because they're the one and only team that can do it. They're bullies. They like to play strong basketball, and that's one of the only. I feel like that's the only way to play that'll be able to stop OKC. It just means the Pistons have to get through that gauntlet. I know it sounds crazy because it's their first year being a good team. It's, it's a lot of expectations. I get it. But you don't make it there without having those expectations in the first place.
That's real. And real quick on that note, I am about to hop because I'm about to go do my Lakers corner playback. So I'll see you boys.
Sir.
But all right, y'all. I'm see y'all. Thanks for everybody being here.
John?
Y'all can
Yes,
boys
sir.
and keep streaming. All right, yeah.
No, I mean, I would probably just to piggyback on that. I think the Pistons definitely the one thing they have that's why everyone thought Cavs, Knicks is that like those teams had most of their players coming back. The Knicks was mostly a coaching change, and then the Cavs was just some like depth. But the Pistons didn't really change a whole lot. I mean, their biggest change was like Malik Beasley, maybe.
Yeah.
But I just think that this team, and they've started to get better, especially over this win streak. I think that as the season goes on, we're going to figure out how much of like reality or of a fluke that the offensive efficiency could be. Because I know right now they're still not like sitting great as a 3-point shooting team, even though they added like Duncan Robinson, like Karis LeVert and stuff. And like really just a bunch of guys like Donis Jenkins, like that dude's been like killing it lately. I think they said he's averaging like 20 or so over the last 3 games. Like that's insane. Like just to have a fine like that. But as we make it more and more down the rest of the season, like we're gonna have to see if that's like reality or fluke. That's the one thing I'm kind of like looking at, because the defense, I don't think that's changing. I think that they're going to have some of the best rim protection in the league, and yeah, man, that's just my biggest concern with them. And then of course, just the fact that they haven't really been in a situation like that. I mean, this is a team who hasn't even really won a playoff series yet either.
No, for sure.
Wait, Steph, so the Pistons are your NBA Finals winners?
No.
You're not claiming that? You're not gonna stand on that?
Don't do that.
Ah, wait, coming out the East though. Coming out the East, you gonna stand on that?
I'm saying they can come out the East. I'm not saying they're my choice to come out.
Sitting. All right.
That's super valid. Super valid. While we're talking about threats to OKC, how do we feel about Denver?
That's tough. They got to run it back. I need that series again, bro.
To be fair, yeah. I like it a lot because, and I know Denver's gotten to a very slow start, especially with, Cam Johnson trying to get into the fold. But I will also say, Tim Hardaway, he's starting to look like he can fit in a little bit as well. But fully healthy Denver, I think, might actually, I don't want to say better, but they can rise to the occasion a little bit higher. Their ceiling might be a little bit higher. And I say that because I believe in Jokic a little bit more than I believe in SGA.
Agreed.
It's just Big Yoke,
I don't know, bro. That I will never forget Nikola Jokic taking 9 shots in that game 7 with Alex Caruso on you. Me personally, if that was LeBron James in that position, he would have been vilified. He would have been torn down, slandered in all type of ways. But I haven't heard anybody speak on that. And that's my only thing when it comes to Denver and the OKC matchup. I do want to see the series again, but if Alex Caruso is put on you as Nikola Jokic, multiple time MVP, like you can't only take 9 shots in a game 7, bro. That's my biggest gripe. But Denver is 100% positive.
Fourth quarter of that game was over already. So I'm just gonna say that.
That 9 shots throughout it, like it doesn't matter. I mean,
well, no, like he just didn't play really in that.
Oh, he's saying okay, I got you.
That's what I'm saying. Like if you're not in, I mean, it's like part of this season, like when like the Thunder are winning so much that he's not playing in the fourth quarter. I think that, with this team, especially like biggest thing is like some of the guys who have not played super well, like Cam Johnson, and like finding his groove, I guess, like within the team, moving from like being probably one of the main scoring options in Brooklyn to being like that Suns role that he had, like that fourth, fifth option. Like, I think that they're going to figure it out. The fact that they're already like 9-2 and really like guys have missed games, like, and he's really hasn't been finding his groove either, not even to the capacity of what Michael Porter Jr. did last year. And I think everyone thought it was about time that they needed to move off of him. So he has it in him. Like, I think that he could just like, it'll just take time.
Yeah, time. I mean, that's like you say, they've been good despite needing that time to get a few adjustments in. I mean, the bench, as far as their key pieces, is completely reworked. I mean, Bruce Brown obviously was there previously, but the fact that they're still being this competitive and winning as much as they are with those adjustments is certainly positive. And hopefully, like we just mentioned, I mean, Jokic in those playoffs last year, it was bad. I mean, that was probably his worst postseason run of his career. Now, that's a very high standard, but certainly still wasn't up to what you'd expect from him and what he'd probably expect from himself. Now he probably doesn't have to play 40 minutes a night in the postseason. Now, you still want him to play a ton, but you could tell in that postseason last year he was exhausted. That's going to be a big part for them too. Even if JD just gives them 4 extra minutes where Jokic can sit on the bench, that could end up being crucial for them as well.
I would say it was his worst run in his like in the MVP Jokic era and beyond. But I think like those 2 years they made the playoffs before that, I think it was still like a better showing than that.
Wait, run as in what? What do you mean?
Well, like the year he won his first MVP was 2020, 2021. So that year and since then, I think that the last year's playoffs was probably his worst. But I still think it was better than like 2019 or the bubble for him. Yeah. The bubble, I mean, like he really didn't have a crazy playoffs because if you remember, I mean, he had that big, closeout game, I feel like in the first round. But really, it was Jamal Murray who was the best player for them in that run.
Even when they got packed up by Minnesota?
That was 2024.
Yeah.
So, no, he wasn't. I mean, Jamal Murray wasn't as good as him there. Jamal Murray looked lost, like a deer in headlights.
I mean, he looked lost last year, too. I know, I get it.
I agree, but I just think, like, for Jokic individually.
I want to see a lineup with it's Jokic at the 4, Valanciunas at the 5. You got Cam at the 3, Murray at the 1. Get Brown at the no. Sorry. Cam Johnson at the 2, Aaron Gordon at the 3.
Oh,
Jamal Murray at the 1.
Spacing is nasty.
Did you guys see too that I guess Christian Brown's gonna miss some time now?
Yeah, a few weeks. Yeah. I think it's like 6 weeks. Yeah, at least 6 weeks.
And I think he's he's one of the more underrated valuable assets in this team. And I could argue maybe a top 4 most valuable asset in this team. So without him, I don't know. Like they might start dropping some games here. But I think if they win 60 games this year, not only is Jokic going to be the MVP again, because there's nothing you can do about it. I think, like, unless maybe Shea and the Thunder do win 74 games, I do think that this team will probably win the NBA championship.
I definitely see the NBA champions coming out of the West, despite me being a Knicks fan, despite me believing the Knicks are going to make the NBA Finals. It's hard to pick Denver, though. I'm sorry. The OKC is just a beast of a team. It's really hard to, especially with how last year went. I can't definitively say that Denver's going to beat OKC for real.
To play devil's advocate, didn't we say this about the Celtics? And then we saw how once the year ran its course, got to the playoffs, they were a shell of themselves. They weren't what we thought they would be, at least at the end of the year.
Like you talking about this past playoff, Celtics?
Mm-hmm. People didn't have that same fear of them going into the playoffs they did coming into the year. Coming into the year, it's like the Celtics got a lot. They're a deep team, yada yada yada. But once we got to the playoffs, it was like they're beatable. Like we're good.
And
No, beatable. I don't know. I don't know if anybody thought they were quote unquote beatable, but me personally, my personal belief is that I think Orlando really beat up the Celtics to the point where once they got into the Knicks series, the Knicks are also a pretty gritty team that we just warmed down. I mean, they were up 20 in the first 2 games, and we were able to still bounce back and take that series.
I mean, I think that it's just hard, especially recently, and part of it is because of like the new rules with the CBA. It's just hard to go back to back, and especially if you don't go back to back, every other like year that passes, it just becomes harder and harder because ever since 2020, which is the bubble year, like think Raptors lost in the second round, and then 2021 Lakers first round, 2022 the Bucks second round, the Warriors second round, Nuggets second round, like. And then Celtics and potentially the Thunder this year. I'm not saying that they're going to lose in the second round just because like that trend happened, but I'm saying it shows that it's hard to go back to back and that teams are going to, like, more than anything, teams are going to try their best to stop you. Right now we've gotten to the point, it's early in the year, teams still are figuring it out. And I feel like this has been a broken record for me today, probably more than any stream we've ever done and might ever do again. But we're going to have to wait and see.
I actually disagree on that take, Garrett. I feel like the reason these teams haven't been able to go back to back is 1, poor GM decisions, and 2, their star players being injured. With the Bucks, Chris Middleton, with Denver, Jamal Murray. I don't believe that.
And the Thunder last year were really healthy, were they not? Yeah. I'm telling you this as a Chicago Bulls fan who saw Alex Caruso sitting out like half the games, like the last 2 or 3 years he was with our team, and he was perfectly healthy pretty much the entire run. And I'm not trying to like wish an injury or anything, but I'm just saying that it happens, and this might happen later on. If they were playing the playoffs like today, okay, without Jalen Williams for the course of a full series, the Thunder are winning games when they're playing one at a time against these teams. If you have the game plan for a specific team over a 7-game series, you don't think teams are going to try and find ways to maybe exploit them. Like, oh, they don't have their second leading scorer. They don't have their third leading scorer in some games in Chet Holmgren. It's going to be harder to win those games. And then they got to do it not once, but not twice, but not 3 times, but 4 times against better opponents every time.
Why I believe this OKC team is different is that even when their offense isn't humming, they win games with their defense. You can't take that away. Defense is strictly effort and energy, and that's their identity.
Yeah, I mean, you could say that. I think that a lot of the teams over the last couple of years, though, like were great defensive teams. Maybe the only exception is like what, Denver, I guess.
Yeah.
So every team has been up there as like a top 5 offense, top 5 or like I think it was top 7 offense and defense.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. To play devil's advocate on the side of OKC here against them, I suppose. Of course, you have to play the teams that are in front of you and you have to win the games, but the competition hasn't been nearly as good as you'd expect for a Western Conference team so far this year. They played the Pacers, given before a lot of their guys have since got even more injuries, but still the Pacers, the Hawks before they looked like they knew what they were doing, the Mavericks, the Kings, the Wizards, the Pelicans, the Clippers, the Kings, the Grizzlies. It's a lot of games against teams that either haven't really figured it out yet or have been really bad to start the year, over half their games. Now, they've also smacked some good teams, so I don't want to discredit them there, but that's certainly something to consider as well when we're considering, are they going to be a 70-plus win team? Are they going to be, that elite? They have had a pretty easy schedule, maybe not expected to be an easy schedule, but based on how some of these teams have started the year, one that would have been a little bit more favorable than expected.
There was a stat that came out too after when there were 3 undefeated teams, the Thunder, the Spurs, and back when we were, good, back in the day 2 weeks ago, you know what I mean? But there was a stat that showed that the Bulls and Spurs in their 5-0 start was against teams who were about like 50-55% win percentage, which is actually pretty good considering they're already going to get a loss in all those games. And then the Thunders is more so around like 25%. So, I mean, I'm not like, again, I'm just trying to add like to Devin's point where it's like they maybe haven't played too many teams that are super great. And even the teams that are great, like the Rockets, for instance, we know they're going to be a really good team. that was their first game with Kevin Durant. We came on stream and talked about like they hadn't even really figured it out yet, and they still went to double overtime with the defending champions. The Pacers went to double overtime, probably could have beat them, you know? So it's hard to fully justify this until we see them playing more games against a Denver, a Cleveland, a New York, or a Detroit, you know, Houston.
Hey Garrett, how's Josh Giddey doing, man? How's that ankle?
Man, I'll give him my ankle if we need to.
DeAndre had that boy hurt.
Man. But see, I just want to say too about my Bulls, like we all knew it was fool's gold, at least to a degree. I didn't ever sit up here and say we're a contending team now. I just thought like maybe that 8 seed could look a little more like a 6-7, you know, not to do the meme. No. Because I think I saw someone in the chat put that too earlier. But
Yeah.
Oh wait, look, my bad. Speaking of 6-7, you saw that LaMelo Ball told the Timberwolves that he wanted to be the president of the president of the United States after he retires. Anybody see that?
I did see that.
not see that. It's
Insane
crazy.
work.
What if he was dead serious though?
And honestly, even if he was, I don't like how like the Timberwolves took that. I can't. A brother can't dream, bro.
That is fair. I was thinking the same thing. I thought the same thing. I was like, what's wrong with him having big aspirations like that? Like, sure, he sounds like a crazy president. I wouldn't vote for him, but what's wrong with that? There's plenty of athletes that have gone into politics.
Facts.
Yeah, he already beat the odds to make the NBA, so who's to say he can beat the odds again? I wouldn't put money on it, but clearly he's got the belief.
Absolutely. Since Garrett got a little Bulls takeoff, I need to get a little something off my chest about the Knicks. We're currently right now without Jalen Brunson with the ankle injury. We are a very bad rim protection team. I mean, it's just like a runway when Karl Anthony Towns is down there, and the help never comes. Cat, against the Orlando Magic, where we got belt put on us, he was picking at the ball with Wendell Carter at the top of the key and got a stupid foul. Cat, you have to do better, bro. You are a second best player. You need to be out there to set a good example for everybody else on the court, especially with JB out now. We are counting on you. We're looking for you to lead us to wins. Cat, I need you to be better, bro.
I think that smoke is misdirected.
At who?
I think the smoke should go to his peer, his predecessor, Mitchell Robinson. Not on the rim protection tip, but if you're better on offense, we could have you on the court so that we could have some rim protection. But you can't play offense worth the damn. Everybody wants to hack a shack you every time you're on the floor.
Whoa, you hate
it.
Yeah, so therefore, we're forcing one of our second best player to do a job we pay you for. And you just sitting on the pine. Why aren't you? Where's the smoke for the man stealing checks from your franchise instead of the one actually trying to hoop?
Whoa, not too much on Mitch. Listen, his body's a little tender as well. You know, he got to load manage himself, so he's not always available. But the spots where I'm looking at mostly is when Cat is solely out there as the 5, and he's not good at all at protecting the rim, bro. I mean, like he plays defense with his fucking hands out, bro. Like,
yeah, he is. He's not a physical player. You could tell.
No. He is on offense. On defense, that brother lost.
Fair enough.
You're talking about Cat? You mean still?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
wish.
All right.
No. He's a cat on offense, but on defense, might be a little kitten.
Big
Just
purr.
purr.
Yeah.
All purrs.
Nasty. Hey, shout out to the Raptors for getting that win over the Cavs yesterday, man.
They've been decent, man. They've been decent. I was feeling pretty concerned about a week and a half ago, but we locked back in. Darko said that we weren't practicing at all during the World Series, which explained a hell of a lot. And now we dialed in again. So kudos, Jays, for making the Raptors have a bad start. But in all seriousness, I know it's been good. And obviously the Jays had a good run, so no complaints.
Man, that's
Jacopo's
actually
pretty
crazy.
fast.
And I that's crazy for one, because I didn't hear him say that, but also maybe they have like a vendetta or something, maybe, because maybe that's why, like, because the Blue Jays lost.
Yeah, I don't know, man, but yeah, it was 10 days supposedly. 10 days during the World Series. They did not practice at all. According to Darko, which he said in the media for some reason. I don't know why he would decide to come out and admit that, but
They respect his honesty.
he was honest about it, and they've been cooking since. So, although they came out sluggish the other night, and then everyone said that they were celebrating Mamu's birthday, and apparently it is Georgian tradition to have a toast, I believe, after every course was finished. So they were a little bit fucked up that night, but they got the job done.
Not to get totally off topic, but Steph, Dodgers. What do you think about that?
We continue to do our best job buying rings. It's like a woman that is dating one of the best athletes of all time, just ring shopping, just getting everything she can so that she can go get another ring. And I'm not talking about a marriage ring. No. I'm talking about those other rings, those other rocks that are on her finger. And they're just doing the best job at it, because we saw what the Mets tried to do. That didn't work. The Yankees, they have such good regular seasons just to wet the bed. I don't get it. I don't understand it. The Tigers had an amazing year. They were absolutely phenomenal. The Blue Jays, I genuinely thought y'all had us. I have nothing for you guys besides great year, but I'm not mad at it. Keep buying those rings. If you're gonna keep the salary cap the way it is, do what you got to do. Especially when you're in the biggest one of the biggest markets in sports. That's just what it is.
Hey man, it's the power of Magic. Magic Johnson. That's 16 championships now, for counting 1 in college, 5 as a player, 10 as an owner.
That's insane. That's actually insane.
It's crazy to think, like, because I don't know off the top of my head how old he is. I'm guessing he's probably like 70, well, about 65, 70, somewhere in that range. Like, bro, that's like a third of the years pretty much in your life, maybe just under. You're a champion.
I
Like,
thought he made it that far.
Oh God, I was just about to say that, bro.
Yeah, and that's another thing.
You said
too.
exactly what I was thinking. This dude is cheating life right now, because there's no reason
He's still in years. He's still in years.
Bro found the hacks. He found the Zen.
Yeah, he found. Never mind. I'm not gonna say that, but that's a healthy looking 66-year-old man who got
66. Yeah.
Who got terrible blood running through his veins. Bad blood.
Hey man, we gotta. I do think that when it comes to that conversation, just as an overall winner, he's got to be up there. I mean, somewhere. You think about like Phil Jackson, everyone says like, oh yeah, like he won 11 rings as a coach and 2 as a player. And of course, like Bill Russell, the 11 as a player mostly. And then, as a player coach too. But I don't know, like he's definitely carving out a nice resume for himself in the world of sports.
No, he definitely is. Doesn't he have a few other ownerships too? Like, doesn't he own a football team? I don't know what team
think
it is,
so, but I don't know exactly off the top of my head.
I want to say the Commanders, but I'm not sure if he's part of that group or not. But I know he has part ownership in the Sparks. So
yeah, part ownership in the Commanders, MLS's LAFC, and the Women's League within North America, and WSL Washington Spirit. So he's got ties everywhere right now.
LAFC.
Yeah, and they've been
LA Football Club.
Quite historic. Was it last? No, that wasn't last year. That might have been the other LA team that won. I don't remember, but I know they've won things. I don't know if it was super recent, but they've had success for sure.
Hey man, not to hate now on another Laker, but all I'm gonna say is, Shaq could have done the same thing, man. Like instead he went on Papa John's and the General and Krispy Kreme and the Big Chicken. Like,
I don't. But to be fair, He would be an executive kind of like Jordan. He would be horrible. We see
Yeah,
what
I
he
mean,
talks about on what was NBA on TNT, but now it's on ESPN or whatever. But oh my god, as an exec, he would have had to be like the same way Magic was, except without his hand on basketball at all, because it would have been nasty.
I have a question. Oh my bad.
oh, I was just gonna say, like, he could have maybe been in a little bit of a way like what Steve Nash was for the Warriors, because technically Steve Nash won with the Warriors when he was like one of those player consultant things, like behind the scenes, right? So maybe if Shaq was that's probably the best thing he could be, like, where it's like he's not deteriorating an organization.
No, for sure.
Fellas, I have a question, and we could probably close out after this. There's a lot of conversation happening online, and I made a TikTok about it, and this particular conversation is hitting me like at the heart. Like it tears my heart apart when people try and say that Chris Paul has had a better career than Russell Westbrook. What are you guys' thoughts?
You better hold your heart close, because he has. I mean, I don't know, man. I think, yes, Westbrook has the MVP, and I guess he made the finals more towards a peak time of his career than Chris Paul, you could argue. But I just feel like Chris Paul, yes, like neither of them are probably going to end up winning a championship when it's all said and done. But I think he's shown that he can like kind of take a team from nothing and turn them into the best version that they could possibly be. Once it gets to the playoff time and like the stakes rise the most, I don't think that he's one of those guys that you can always turn to. Maybe part of that is just because he's an undersized point guard, but the other part of it is just that sometimes he makes careless decisions, especially like again in the Suns tenure, like that year in the finals where he fell down, and then what else is it, like just with the Clippers, and especially that choke against OKC. So there's just like so many moments you can turn to. But I look at Westbrook and I look at him on some teams that probably had higher expectations to do much, and you could argue that not that he totally brought them down, but he hindered their ability to reach their potential.
Can I get an example, Garrett? Because I'll tell you right now, you're wrong.
Well, let's not forget, because I know Steph knows this as a Lakers fan, when the 2021 offseason happened, and can we just simulate to the NBA Finals already and what happened that season? I'm asking, what happened? Exactly. I mean, is that good enough, or
David?
Did anybody look at that roster and realistically thought that
yes,
they had?
Yes.
Steph, did you look at that roster and realistically thought that was a championship team? As the Lakers fan?
In the beginning, no, but once we played them like the second time, I was like, okay, they're serious.
Wait.
But I also want to answer. Chris Paul has had a better career. I also agree with him. Now, for me, Chris Paul has been elite for nearly 2 decades without really having a dramatic fall off. This is like the first year we're really seeing a real dramatic fall off. Whereas Russ,
Warriors,
I just want to say too, and I'm not even a Chris Paul fan.
Suns, that's why they packed him off.
It's not fully his fault either for this potential fall off. It's also Ty Lue's. Go ahead. Sorry.
But still, nevertheless, most of CP3's stops in the last couple of years were meant to elevate in terms of being a leader. But when he ended up playing, we still were like, oh, he still has it pretty deep into his 30s. Whereas Russ, yes, he has had games here and there, but for the most part, I saw him in a Lakers jersey. He was bad. It was nasty basketball. Then even further, Chris Paul separates himself in the factor of efficiency and just overall winning, in my opinion. one of the most elite and efficient guards ever is Chris Paul. Great on and off impact, regardless of where he went. He was one of the best players on his team. He turned around countless franchises that we never saw win before. Whereas Russ, yes, he has gotten teams better. He has gotten a lot out of players and things of that nature. But we saw Chris Paul turn franchises that we've never seen be championship type of franchises, i.e. the Clippers. And they were the best team in LA for the better half of a decade. Then you get to playoff reliability. Garrett already touched on that, so I don't really have to touch on that too much.
Hey,
and even further, this is
talking like Chris got a ring. You talking like Chris got championship.
But I'm comparing.
I didn't know he got a ring. My bad.
But here's the thing, though. I'm comparing what we can compare without that ring, and because they both don't have a ring, we can compare this and even further. And I love this part. Chris Paul. He's a 9-time all defensive guard, whereas Russell Westbrook has been a shaky defender throughout his career. He has not been the best defender. And Chris Paul is much smaller and less athletic than a Russell Westbrook that we've seen throughout the year. So I just got to give it to CP, brother.
See, I feel like that's crazy because you said all that about Chris Paul, and Russ did the same thing and more. He's always had more responsibilities. Chris Paul had non-defensive. All right, that's cool. Russ got an MVP. He averaged triple-double multiple years. Like, we could do the same thing, and I feel like Russ has always been more impactful on every single team that he's been on, and CP3 has also been very impactful, but I feel like there's levels to this, and the responsibilities that's always been on Russ's shoulders has always been more than Chris Paul.
Only two things. He only does two things better, and that's scoring volume and rebounding. That's it.
Yep.
There's a reason why both of them, when they did start to decline, Russ was just a plummet, whereas Chris Paul could stay afloat a little bit because of his IQ. He still had that side of basketball. Not saying Russ doesn't have IQ, but he relied on his athleticism a lot more.
Russ is still hooping. Russ is still hooping. Plummet where? Yo, see, that's the narrative shit, bro. That's the narrative shit, bro.
If Russ is hooping, he wouldn't be struggling to find a job.
He had a job. He is currently employed.
He was unemployed for how many months?
Okay, let me put it even better. He wouldn't have been. He wouldn't have been.
Because of the picture you guys are trying to paint is why he was unemployed. He was hooping his ass off with Denver.
If he wouldn't have been told care about the picture that is painted of him and not how he actually performs, that's a whole bigger issue we need to discuss.
If you're telling me a championship GM in Denver is worried about the media narrative more than anything else, enough to say don't take your player option, I don't believe that.
You activated my trap card, buddy. Because guess what? Dylan Brooks got packed up because of narratives. Dylan Brooks got packed up because of narratives.
You said who?
So
yeah, and how and Jay.
What player?
Where were the no?
Dylan Brooks got packed up because of narratives, bro.
Yeah,
there's some other different going on there.
You got shed some light on it. I don't know. Put me on.
I mean, just clearly tensions were not going well between him and the organization. Now, I agree that Brooks was still going to be a positive for the Grizzlies if they could have sorted it out. He is a valuable player in terms of impact on winning when he decides to not huck 12 threes when he's not on. But clearly there was some issues going on there, and sure, they haven't been good since then, but I don't know if keeping a guy that clearly there were issues with was going to be the answer.
You got issues with John Morant now. I mean, maybe the Grizzlies need to look inward. They're great at identifying talent. They're great at developing talent. When it comes to managing your star players, maybe they need to look inward.
And that's
I think it's just when there's consistency, like in your inconsistencies across different situations, then it becomes a serious problem. The thing with John Morant is he's been on the Grizzlies, and right now the Grizzlies don't look very good. So maybe, for all we know, he might just want out of Memphis. We don't know. Okay, yeah, and if we saw him, really, he wants to be there.
He's been pretty vocal saying.
Jay, did you just call Dylan Brooks a star?
You're a good player. My bad if I misspoke. You're a good player. You need to manage the personalities of one of your best 3 players.
Because
I just want to pull this up. I just want to share my screen with this part because this is what I'm talking about, Jay. This is the Lakers preseason odds after they won the championship in the bubble, right? Number 1, okay? Now, as we know, that season, AD got hurt in the playoffs. They lost to the Suns. Okay, it's kind of a wash, you could say. Maybe they'll come back next year stronger. So then we move on to the next year. And look at that. They're still number 2. Why would they be below anything? Well, at the beginning of last season, the Nets didn't have James Harden as well. So these are 2 teams that look at those odds, like 240 and 400. That's pretty substantial. Okay. One full season of Russell Westbrook. And keep in mind, too, like we already know that the media, they love to give the Lakers praise as much as they can. But this is what it looked like. Look at they flew down to 10th. They flew down to 10th. They're lower than the Suns, who just got beat badly by the Mavericks in that game 7.
Wait, Garrett, are we gonna dismiss the fact of what they traded to get Russ? Are we gonna dismiss that?
They're lower than the Nets, who didn't win a playoff game.
I guess we're gonna dismiss it. All right.
What the Lakers traded to get Russ?
Yes, bro. Some very substantial
guys they won a championship with.
Yes, bro.
And guess what? One of those guys won a title with a team that Russ joined the year after. Denver, KCP.
But even further, doesn't that go against your point? Because we brought Russ in to get over the bridge, to turn the corner, to keep the momentum going. But really, he halted that momentum. And in some ways, when we took 2 steps forward, he took 15 back.
And I want to reiterate,
poorly constructed.
I want to reiterate
Steph,
one
you
more.
You know the roster was bad.
Because we got Russ.
And guess what? I'm pulling this back up again.
Right,
I'm gonna pull this back up again. Look, who did they play in the first round this year? The Lakers in 2023. Anyone know? I'm right here. Memphis Grizzlies. Pretty similar odds, right? And they beat them as a 7 seed. Why were they a 7 seed? Because with Russell Westbrook, they were hanging around 11 or 12 most of the year. Then they played the second round. Oh, defending champions, Golden State Warriors up there. And guess what? They beat them. They got to the conference finals as a 7 seed. And yet, then, of course, they lost to Denver. But that's a top 4 finish. I don't see them top 4. I don't see them top 8.
Garrett, this is such a disingenuous conversation because
you started.
No,
you wanted this conversation. You said, "Can we talk about Russ?"
You bring up bad points. You can't tell me, oh, the Lakers championship odds dropped when they got Russ, but they traded all their their important championship pieces to get Russ. You keep those pieces and add Russ. All right, cool, because those were shooters. Those
but we wouldn't have been able to add Russ with that. That was the point. We had to trade to get Russ, but to get him, we trying to win again.
But Steph, when you guys traded for Russ, did you think that team was good?
This is the year after.
No,
this is the year after. They moved up to 6.
I'm saying we shouldn't have even traded for Russ at all. We should have kept those pieces and retooled in another way.
I agree, bro.
But once we did get Russ, the idea is it's Russ, Bron, and AD. He didn't keep it is. But as one of our highest paid guys, and if I'm not mistaken, he was top 2 paid at one point on the team. You got to figure it out, bro. Like, that's just what it is. You're on the team. And the fact that Bron and AD are able to figure it out and make it work, meanwhile, Russ had some games, you look, okay, he's starting to figure it out. Other games, it was like, oh, never mind, he's back. It was like, okay, you're the one. You're always going to look like the odd man out at that point.
Steph. It's LeBron and AD's team. Of course, they got a championship there. Of course, they know how to work it out. Of course, they got chemistry already. You bring in a guy that's ball dominant. You bring in a guy that has always been a primary playmaker next to LeBron James. Someone as Russell Westbrook. I'm not saying he's not flow whatsoever. He cannot shoot. I'll say that he cannot shoot again. He's a float player that cannot shoot as your one. That does not. Everybody knows LeBron needs to be surrounded by shooting. He has a non-shooting point guard. That's like right there. That should be a big ass red flag for Rob Pelinka. Like, come on.
I just think that if you're a player that, I mean, we know he's not as good as LeBron, who would have the ball in his hands a lot as well at that time. Like, sacrifices need to be made. And I don't really see Russell Westbrook making a sacrifice the same way that maybe someone like Chris Paul did. I think his biggest sacrifice that he made, you could say maybe Phoenix, but that OKC year, bro, in OKC, they had a better year when he filled in Westbrook's shoes. They did.
A better year as in what?
Well, they played more playoff games, and I'm pretty sure they had a better record, but even if they didn't exactly, it was very close, and that team was not supposed to be even in the playoffs.
All right,
Because people thought Chris Paul, oh yeah, he's just going to mope out of OKC before the season even starts. They thought he was going to do what Andrew Bynum did to Philadelphia.
We thought he was going to get bought out.
Exactly.
Let me not take anything away from Chris Paul in that OKC year, because I watched every single game of that OKC versus Rockets series, and Chris Paul led those boys to an incredible run, especially the game 7. That series was so close that it came down to a James Harden block on Lou Dort, bro. That series was amazing. But let's not, when you talk about Russ should have taken a step back, he should have like shit like that. Russ just came off a year where he's having a triple-double. Why the fuck should I take a step back? LeBron, you ever average triple-double? AD, you ever average triple-double?
But I have multiple of these.
And LeBron, within the last year, just won a championship as the finals MVP. And he just won one like within a year or so from that.
I got one more that I think.
Hold on.
And hold on, look at this comment right down here. You know why? You know why the Rockets beat the Thunder? You know why you know why the Rockets beat the Thunder, Jay? It's because Russell Westbrook was hurt most of the series.
Thank you. I thought you were about to say some bullshit. You're right.
Listen,
no, that hurts your point.
Chris Paul been hurt his entire career. What
the Rockets beat the Thunder because Westbrook was injured most of the series.
Chris Paul been injured his entire career. I don't not want to hear that shit.
But if Westbrook was playing.
Yeah,
you trying to get
I don't think you try to get it
off.
Right. What I was gonna say, who is the one Western Conference team that was built to beat the Warriors? The Houston Rockets team, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who was their point guard? Who was okay? Now, if him or Harden don't get hurt, we can reasonably say that those. When we look back in history, those were the two teams. Both the years that could have possibly beaten one of the greatest teams of all time.
Oh,
but because we saw
you know what the other team was? That 2016 OKC Thunder team?
No, it wasn't, because they lost to him.
No,
they lost to him. You lost to
the Rockets. So did the Rockets.
Yeah, yes, the Rockets did. But
first of all, it's different teams. That was pre-KD for one. And KD was on Russ's side, but also they lost.
They still won 73. One of the greatest teams ever.
But they just lost. They straight up lost to him. They blew a 3-1 lead. The Rockets, they were up 3-2, and then Chris Paul got hurt in the end of that game 5.
Were you gonna forget all them threes? We gonna forget all them threes that Rockets team is?
Sure. I mean, you could bring it up, but also if Chris Paul's playing, do they miss that many threes?
I was about to say that's also an anomaly in and of itself as well. Because if Chris Paul plays, it's like, come on, bro.
And wait. Blowing the 3-1 lead, not an anomaly. Blowing the 3-1 lead is not an anomaly.
From that point forward, we saw so many. We've seen like 3 or 4 of them so far.
Yep.
All right, bro. I'm done. I throw in the white for I'm done.
Thank you. We got him, guys.
No, they did not. Yo, Russ, I'm standing with you, my dog.
I feel like every stream we eventually say something about Westbrook. Like
anytime there's a Westbrook slander, I'll be there to defend it. Every time.
Hey, man. I just want to say one little thing, and then we can close out the show, because I know last time, I think when me, Jay, and John were on here, we did like a little on this date, November 14th. Did you guys know on this day in 2009, Brandon Jennings, 55 points, became the youngest player to ever score 50 points in an NBA game, and it still holds today. Shout out my guy.
That's
Oh,
fire. Shout out
Brandon
BJ.
Jennings.
Hey, shout out to Brandon Jennings.
Yes, sir. That's just one of the craziest moments. And you know who he did it against? Steph Curry.
Right.
Did
Right.
Brandon
I
Jennings'
remember
career
that.
go downhill from that point on?
It never
Hey,
really
man.
went downhill per se. He just popped his Achilles and he just wasn't.
Oh yeah, no, you're
Exactly.
right. I forgot.
Yeah.
And he should have made the All-Star team that year if he didn't. Like
Yeah,
it was such a
100%.
it was a really weird time where like a week later they were gonna vote on reserves. He was gonna make it, and then he tore his Achilles, so they didn't vote him.
Mhm.
It's funny. I think his last year was on the Knicks, and he played like decently well for a bench player. I thought he would definitely be in the league another year, but he just disappeared after that.
He still lasted. So later that year, he went to the Wizards because it was a buyout, and then the year after that, he signed again a 10-day with the Bucks. And he actually his first game there, he had I think 14, 8, and 8. I could be wrong on that, but it was like near triple double, kind of. Like everything was above like 6 or 8 or something like that. I don't know. And I'm like, that's pretty good for a guy who wasn't playing and he's just on a 10-day. Like,
No, fact.
and they won.
Yeah,
So.
I think he definitely should have had a longer career. I don't know what happened at the end, but
You know what happened? You know, Adam Silver's league. That's how it works these days, man.
oh wait. So are you saying narratives is the reason he was out of a job?
I mean, we know why so and so just got a job. Anyways, I think that's where we can wrap it up. I feel like it was a pretty good stream. We had a heated kind of conversation, not like super heated really, but like a good back and forth. I feel like there at the end, and I feel like we had a lot of good stuff we touched on. I don't know if you guys have anything you want to add before we wrap it up.
Nope.
Good.
Go Lakers.
W stream boys.
Hopefully the Bulls can turn it around, not be below 500 by the next time I'm on this stream, because right now it's looking pretty rough for us. We're on like a 4-game losing streak. So come on, in Giddy we trust. You know, but anyways,
Shout out to Josh Diddy.
yes sir. Appreciate you guys again. We will be back on Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern, which is 6 p.m. Central and 5 p.m. Mountain Time and 4 p.m. Pacific Time. Yes, I had to get all those out there so everyone in the world knows where to find us. And Tuesdays and Fridays, our stream schedule. If you're new to the stream today, we had a pretty good chat as well. Like shout out like all these guys that popped in. Even our very own GabeSlidIn did indeed slide in too.
Oh,
So,
thanks, Gabe. I didn't even see that. Gabe, you cooked.
Hey man, everyone was against you on that one. Anyways, though, like I said, great stream. Glad that we can be here talking hoops, and hopefully you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys for watching, and we're out. Peace.